Best strategies for visual learners. According to the Vark model, there are 4 types of learners as visual learners, auditory learners, read-write learners, and kinesthetic learners. Today in this video, we are going to cover visual learning style and strategies for visual learners. Before we get started, subscribe our channel for more videos like this. First of all, let's get a rough idea about visual learners and visual learning style. Actually, who is a visual learner? A visual learner is a learner type that learns using images, graphics, colors, and maps. They learn more easily through graphic representations, arrows, charts, illustrations, etc. than listening to a lecture or reading something written. Now you have an idea about visual learner. Let's talk about what is a visual learning style. The learning style followed by visual learners is called visual learning style. As I mentioned earlier, the style of learning style through graphic representations, charts, illustrations, and visualization is the visual learning style. According to the Social Science Research Network, the approximate percentage of visual learners is 65%. Characteristic of visual learners. Most of us are visual learners, but something they don't even know is they are visual learners. Let's talk about the characteristics of visual learners which are important to identify visual learners. The first characteristic is things with charts and diagrams are well remembered. Visual learners trying to remember learning facts touch mind maps, sketch, etc. The other characteristic is the faces of those who meet are remembered, but the name is quickly forgotten. They also organize well the things that trying to remember. Their thought also wander around during lectures. They reluctant to talk more. Often, they also reluctant to speak in front of proof. When they want to learn something, they read about the topic and try to learn by visualizing it. Now I think you have a rough idea about visual learner. If you are a visual learner, now we are going to talk about strategies, tips and tricks for visual learners. The first strategies that can be used when studying as a visual learner is ask for handouts before listening to a lecture. Because if you are a visual learner, when you read her handouts, it creates an image in your mind. These images and visualizations better remembered than listening to a lecture. The second strategy that I have for you is add pictures and sketch to your note. When you make a note, try to include sketches and pictures rather than written sentences. When writing a note, keep space for face pictures and drawing sketches, mind maps, etc. The third tip I have for you is highlight important words and sentences. Visual learners can easily remember lessons by using different colors to highlight the same subheadings' importance points. For example, suppose you are studying a medical textbook on diseases. Then you can highlight the symptoms in one color and the medicine related to them in another color. This will make it easier for you to memorize the content. The fourth tip I have for you is create mind maps for lessons. The mind maps are one of the best and effective way to organize and absorb information for visual learners. The mind map helps to easily organize and memorize complex lessons as well. If you do not know what a mind map is a diagram that draws connecting subheadings, concepts, or items around a central concept or topic. The fifth tip I have for you is create flashcards. In addition to mind maps, flashcards are also a great way for visual learners. If you do not know what a flashcard is a card that contains a small piece of information as an aid to learning. The sixth tip I have for you is rearrange the point in the notes to make it easier to visualize. If the points in your note are not systematic, arrange the point in a specific order to create image in the mind while reading. Here you can easily memorize points by removing unnecessary points, adding new ones to make it clear, and filling the fact into a specific template. Use star mark for important information, such as question mark for information that need further study. In addition, box the important points and formulas, and make it easier to create the image of the note in the mind. It is much easier to study a note with different colors and symbols than have a lot of letters written in the same color. So if you are a visual learner, change your traditional note. Now I know your problem is that it takes long time to rewrite the notes. Don't worry, there is a solution. Take some of those A4 sheet or notebook. Then turn what you have written in Word into diagrams and pictures. 8th tip I have for you is create visual presentations. According to the Slide Carnival website, quality visual presentation can increase understanding by more than 400% and help students to absorb information better than an oral lecture. The 9th tip I have for you is watch animation videos related to your topic. Visual learners can get benefit from explanatory video that use icons, diagrams and characters to illustrate the key points of the concept. YouTube is a free source for finding animated videos related to your subject. Teaching strategies for visual learners. Earlier, we mentioned about the strategy that can be used when studying as a visual learner. Now, we are going to discuss teaching strategies for visual learners. If you are a teacher, as we mentioned earlier, about 65% of the students in your class have visual learning style. Let's talk about how to teach visual learners in the classroom. Visual person need to see information they need to learn. These students have trouble concentrating on traditional lecture but easily study visual information such as charts and images. So they focus more on overhead slides, smartboard, PowerPoint presentation, handouts and whiteboard. So if you are a teacher, now I am going to discuss few strategies that you can use. First thing is use diagrams handout with your oral lectures. The second thing is explain the lessons using presentation with image and mind maps. The third strategy is give written handouts. The fourth strategy is use flashcards for the lessons. The fifth strategy that I have for you is use animated videos to explain difficult subject areas. The sixth strategy that I have for you is use the assignment to make posters and presentations. Activities for visual learners. If you are a visual learner, activities that I am going to discuss is helpful for you. The first activity I have for you is draw more mind maps. As I mentioned above, mind map is a diagram that draws connecting subheadings, concept or items around the central topic or concept. To draw a mind map, after writing the main topic in the middle, the branches are pulled out the central topic and give more details on the central topic. The second activity that I have for you is create flowcharts. Flowchart can be used to study a workflow or process. These also can be used to gain an understanding of how a process works, to communicate how process works to others. The third activity I have for you is create diagrams. Technically, mind maps and flowcharts are also kind of diagrams. Creating diagrams also one of the best activity for visual learners. The fourth activity I have for you is create flashcards. As I mentioned earlier, flashcard is a card that contains a small piece of information as an aid to learning. Flashcards made with a variety of colors and illustrations are a great way to learn for visual persons. The next activity I have for you is draw posters and sketches. The information in a lesson should be memorized as much as possible with sketches. For that, it is best to create your own sketches and posters. The last activity I have for you is create presentations. You can easily create the presentations with free tools like Google Slide. They have a pre-made templates for this kind of work. Sometimes you can get good presentation related to various lessons online. The fun fact about visual learners that you should know if you are a visual learner. Visual learners can memorize 75% of what they see or read. They have a strong imagination. They tended to need. They also daydream a lot and they have high creativity. Conclusion. In this video, we talk about visual learners, visual learning styles, and strategies for visual learners. Visual persons are people who learn better by using visualizations such as images, graphics, colors, and maps. In addition, we mentioned teaching strategies for visual learners. We also covered the effectiveness of using visualization rather than oral lectures to teach them, as well as activities for visual learners such as presentations and mind maps. Thank you for watching my first video of Study Tips channel. If you like this video, hit like. Subscribe our channel for get more educational study related videos like this. Click bell icon to get notification when I release new video. If you like to read articles about study or exam tips, visit our site studytipsly.com and see you in next video. Subscribe our channel. Click on like button.